Welcome to Samu't Sari, Conversations with Mimi, a weekly podcast by Social, also a member of the Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate. Samu't Sari is where we can show that ordinary people do extraordinary things. Tune in to be entertained and to learn something new with your host, Mimi Lorilla.
Hello and welcome to Samu't Sari Conversations with Mimi. This is your host, Mimi Lorilla, for another episode, welcoming you to an episode featuring hot topics and other topics of interest for men and women alike. We also feature guests who share their passion, their commitments, profession, or talents. Here at Samu't Sari, we share stories to inspire you, stories from ordinary people who make and do extraordinary things. I keep repeating myself that Season 2 is all about online work. Maybe you are a virtual assistant, a freelancer, a business owner who does online work, or maybe you pivoted your business online. But going back to the roots of Samu't Sari, we feature really stories from people who are inspirational so we can learn from others and their experiences, and hopefully those nuggets of wisdom that we will learn from them can be applied in your personal lives. And today is no exception. We have a friend and a person who I have been following on social media for quite some time now, because I know that she's inspirational. But before we talk about her, before I introduce her and ask questions about herself, let me just give you a quick glimpse of who she is. So this person, her name is Hanna de Guzman. She's a graduate from UP Los Baños with a degree in BS or Bachelor of Science in Development Communication, just like me. So one thing that's very common between the two of us. But currently, she's working as a quality analyst in Cognizant Technology Solutions in BGC in Manila, but she's currently working from home. So I will ask her later on what a quality analyst does, because that is an area that's not within my radar. I don't really know too much about that. So let's say hello and welcome to Hanna de Guzman. Hi, Hanna, and welcome to Samu't Sari.
Hello, Ate Mimi. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. At ganda naman ng iyong aura. I feel like you radiate positive vibes. Walang pa-stress.
Nako, that's what you think.
Yeah, we will
How I wish.
yun nga, we will unlock the reason why it doesn't feel like you have a lot of stresses in your life, but ultimately there are still some things that you go through just like the rest of us. And I want to share to our viewers and to our listeners. The reason why I say viewers and listeners is because we are being published or broadcasted in a visual medium through video, and also through audio medium through the podcast platforms like Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcast, I think. I'm not sure about the other platforms, but the Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate are in charge of that. So I want to get to know you, Hanna, today, because my show is really inspiring mostly women. But it's not to say that we don't have men as our guests or have stories to share as well. You're one of those people who do a lot of different things in your life. Balikan natin kung sino si Hanna. So I know that you are a native of Laguna. In fact, you are from San Pablo City, or San Pablo in general. And so alam ko na pagtupong Laguna, talagang mga resilient ang mga Lagunense, at saka maparaan yung madiskarte ang mga taga Laguna. We know that because of the nature of our province. Marami tayong mga handicrafts, marami tayong mga businesses, marami tayong mga kanin, marami tayong mga maliliit na negosyo. But yung Hanna, na taga San Pablo, saan nagmula ang multi-talent mo, Hanna? I know that you are a single mom to two wonderful kids. You are a working mom. You look after your mom as well. She's a very elderly person. And then, over time, yung jobs mo, na-promote ka na promote, na lumipat sa iba't ibang company, which shows your growth in your career. But in a snapshot, bago natin patagalin at i-discover pa about the different aspects of your life, who is Hanna right now? And i-link mo lang yan sa i-link mo lang yan sa mga napagdaanan mo as a person growing up.
Well, Hannah, right now, of course, still a single mom. Well, as you know, I've been annulled since, I've been separated since 2004. And then I got my annulment back in 2010. And ever since then, since 2004, I've been a single working mom. Okay, so I cannot imagine myself just, staying inside the house and being idle, no? So I got used into this, I'm always busy doing this. So some jobs, hindi lang sa bahay, and of course, talagang, I have a profession, no?
Yeah.
And yun nga, it's kind of tough, no? Being a single mom, kasi my duty is not just a mom for my two kids, but also a sole caregiver for my mom who has Alzheimer's or dementia.
Yeah.
So that's one of my challenges right now. Mhm.
Okay, so I think what the reason why I want to showcase your experience at the moment is not to expose your private life, but to make people realize that there are strong individuals like you who have to do different things, not because you wanted to, maybe you wanted to, but because that's the way we cope with all these challenges. You cannot parang hindi pwedeng sumuko ka kasi maraming nakadepend
Yeah.
sa'yo, di ba? So,
Exactly. Mhm.
so let's talk about muna your career. You are a quality, tama ba yun,
Analyst.
Anna? Quality
Yeah,
analyst.
quality analyst.
From to quality analyst, paano nag-shift yung career mo to what it is that you're doing right now? And explain to us what a quality analyst does.
Okay. Yeah, actually, after graduating from UPLB in 1997, I became a banker first. No, so banking industry ako at Mimi for like siguro almost 3 years then. My first job is actually in MTRCB, Movie and Television Review and Classification Board, and then after that, I moved to Urban Bank, and then Equitable PCI Bank here in San Pablo, and then after which we also involved in multi-level business marketing, something like that. So, and after that, after I got separated, that's the time that I worked in a BPO or call center industry. I also, just like the others, I also started as an agent for more than a year. And then after which, my goal was to really be promoted either as a team leader or as a quality analyst. But since I'm a working single mom, so I feel like mas okay sa akin yung quality analyst. So what's the job of a quality analyst? Actually, depende sa account, Ate Mimi, no? Kasi I've been in different call centers. My first call center is, of course, in Converges, Alabang. So I worked there for 13 years. And then after that, I moved to Grab Philippines for more than a year, also as a quality analyst. And then after that, I went back again to a bank in BDO Unibank, and I worked there as a junior assistant manager for as an email support officer naman. Pero talagang my heart is talaga siguro for being a QA or quality analyst. So I moved to a different call center nga, which is in BGC, and nandun yung boom ng career dito sa Philippines. I'm sure you heard about that, no? Nasa BGC talaga. So promising naman din yung job, and medyo challenging because the account is malaki yung account talaga. And so what does a quality analyst does, we do not just do quality monitoring duties, no? Like we of course audit the interactions of the agents for all channels, no? May it be email, chat, or phone interactions. But not only that, it's not the traditional QA duties that we're doing right now. Kasi we also do coaching sa agents. We team up with the team leaders just to make sure that the agent will really grow and really improve with their job. And those are the duties. So coaching, and so meron kayong mga goal planning, action plan with the agents that you're coaching. So yun yung mga challenges. And though yung nature ng job is medyo iba, no? Kasi quality, kasi dapat parang naghahanap ka lagi ng kung ano yung
Mali.
na-miss, kung ano yung error, oo, parang gano'n, no? Kaya nga minsan parang, naku, dapat hindi ko siya madala sa talagang normal life ko kasi good thing hindi naman.
Yeah.
Kahit na matagal na talaga yung pagiging quality analyst. But that's it. I enjoyed naman the job.
Yeah. So do you think there are traces of DevCom in what you do? Because it's about communication multimodal. You have written communication, interpersonal communication, yung mga client-facing skills. So in a way, kahit na papano, may konting-konting na-apply ka pa rin ng mga the principles of communication that you learned in school. And
yes, of course. Definitely. I apply that, yung interpersonal communication. The communication skills is very important, no, in this job. Kasi you do not just get to communicate with your agents, but of course with the team leaders, with the other bosses as well. So, yun.
Yeah. So
I can apply naman.
Yeah. So I think the online component of your job right now is working from home. So I think it's challenging because in my mind, when you say quality analyst, I have this idea, at least in my head, that you will be in front of this person that you said you are coaching, you said you are training, you said you are trying to improve the way they do their processes and yung mga communication nga nila. How does that work for you when you are in your little home office in San Pablo City and your work is in PGC?
Yeah. Well, it's okay naman kasi all the agents naman are also naka-work from home. So eventually now we are really praying that would be the permanent platform, no? Eventually in all BPOs, especially with this current setup right now that still have the pandemic, no? But wala namang masyadong adjustment at Mimi because it's still the same. So face-to-face pa rin naman kasi you get to see pa rin naman the agent that you would want to coach. So, I don't see any problem with that naman.
Yeah, okay. So, but you're not able to really, in real time, look over their shoulder and see how they're doing. Maybe you have a different reporting process na once it is escalated to you for coaching or for further training, tsaka pa lang ikaw makikipag-communicate dun sa worker na yun.
Yeah.
So, I think I imagine ko, when people, when I call like Telstra, for example, and they say this recording, this phone call might be recorded for training purposes, feeling ko kayo na yung trigger na alert nun, yung mga quality.
Yun actually yung minomonitor ko, yes. Yeah. Yun yung mga minomonitor namin. Correct.
Wala kayong mga
kasi it's randomly recorded, yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing that I'm thinking is, I think this works best for you to be working from home because you don't have to travel. And imagine how long it takes from San Pablo to BGC, and you also have some kids to, organize and prepare for their schooling. So mag-segue na muna tayo sa family life mo. So how are you balancing your mommy duties and your work from home arrangements?
Actually, right now, malaking adjustment for us because it was just this month or latter part of last month that my kids and I decided not to get a house help, no? Kasi we've been used, no? For 17 years we stayed in Las Piñas, no? When I used to work in face-to-face sa mga companies ko, and of course the kids are still needed to report, no, sa school nila. So I only decided to move permanently here in San Pablo just last May, no. But for 17 years I stayed in Las Piñas City, and we got used na meron kami laging helper sa house kasi nga I needed to go to the office and I need somebody to take care of the kids while I'm out. So when we went home here in May 1, so the helper actually came along with us. However, nagkaroon din siya ng mga challenges like yung distance kasi. So proximity-wise, medyo napalayo siya sa family niya. And yung last helper that I got, medyo got sickly. And my bunso, my youngest daughter got sick, no, because of her as well. So I got really scared because after my daughter got sick, I got sick as well. That's why we immediately got ourselves tested. Correct. Oo. So medyo nagkaroon ako ng fear na, oh my God, Kaya I immediately had my RT-PCR test during that time, and fortunately it was negative, no? So at least we were saved pa rin. So kaya we decided ng kids ko that I know it would be tough for every one of us here living in the house, but it would be safer, no? It would be much safer us to just stay ng kami na lang magmamami, no? Kasi it's unavoidable talaga. When you have a house help, if you have a helper, whenever they have their days off, they needed to leave the house and go to their respective families as well.
Right.
And you can't stop them. You can't stop them from leaving the house. So that's the risk, right? Because you never know if they're really strictly following the protocols, the health protocols, and then when they come back to your house, you don't know na what's gonna happen. So that's why mabuti na lang. Good thing then I already trained my kids that it's a bonus if we have a house help, no? If we have a helper, but if we don't have, life must go on.
That's right.
We have to do it ourselves.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's a new adjustment for us. But I'm just very fortunate that I have my little helpers here in the house. So we share the chores. So I don't have to do it on my own naman. So they are helping me.
Okay. Paano naman yung schooling nila, Hanna? Because you've been 17 years in Las Piñas. Do they have to move to a local school kahit na online
different,
sila?
Yeah.
They had to move.
Yeah, good thing naman. Because my eldest just graduated, no, last July in Las Piñas Science High School. So, and right now he's just waiting for the result pa rin, kung saan talaga siya finally papasok na college. So good thing freshman na siya. So okay lang for him. Now my youngest, since we moved here in San Pablo na, so I decided to put her na lang sa Canosa College dito na sa San Pablo City.
Okay. How is it like for them transitioning back to being in Laguna? Separated from the group of friends maybe, or the circle of friends that they've known throughout the years. How did you handle that? Nagkaroon ba sila ng sort of emotional upset a little bit by being physically distant
Not at all.
from their friends? Or they realized being back in Laguna, I can make new friends and there will be, other friends? How is that like?
Yeah, that's the mindset. That's the mindset that I instilled in them, that when we go back to Laguna, that's our home. That is our permanent home, and we have to look forward to that. And you'll be meeting some of our relatives, some of our new friends, and you don't have to worry because of social media. You won't have any problem communicating with your old friends back in Manila. So it's okay.
So Hanna, I'm not sure whether you are aware, but I wrote and self-published a book series called Super Mom. You can be a super mom. Those are tips and strategies to help women handle the different aspects of their lives, whether it's the at-home issues or the work issues and things like that. And I think you are the perfect sort of inspirational person that fits any reader of the book, because what you're trying to give us right now are some of the very individualistic, what do you call that? Individualistic in the sense that it's only applicable to your situation. We cannot say that what you're experiencing is the same with others, but it's a demonstration of how you have designed your life right now to fit your needs. Like what you said about the mindset, how you reared your kids, how you're teaching them and telling them things in a more mature way so that they understand exactly what's happening to the family. So I think going back to your house in Laguna, was your mom fully aware that you've returned to your own home and your ancestral home, and that you've decided to make it a little bit more Hanna, but you decided to honor your family by incorporating artifacts or family heirlooms that have been kept in the bodega, but now they are showcased in your home? Can you tell us the process and how your mom felt about that process? And yourself, how did you and your kids feel about making that your new home now?
Well, you know what? Honestly, Ate Mims, initially, the goal is just to make the old house livable. Okay, that's the first goal. And of course, to manage all those that needed to be repaired sa old house. Okay, and in the process, parang okay, parang I'm enjoying it, no? Na though talaga I need to make some renovations with the old house for us to live more conveniently, no? Especially the kids, kasi it's gonna be a big adjustment for them, no? So with my mom, actually hindi ko ma-sure if she's aware, kasi nga my mom is already in an advanced stage of Alzheimer's or dementia, but I keep on showing her pictures of this house that we're already here in San Pablo, Laguna. But because of her mental condition right now, I'm not sure if she could still appreciate it because of
But it's
her
a nice way
condition.
of honoring your mom and your parents in
Yes.
general. It's a perfect way of doing that. Yeah.
Yes, I know. Kaya nga, I've actually been praying, no, na talagang how I wish there's going to be an opportunity for us to really go back home. And it's a blessing in disguise, actually, no, that because this pandemic, we were given the opportunity to work from home. And because for a year, I really tried, no, to still stay in Las Piñas. But when I foresee na it's gonna be more years, no, for us to be living in this kind of situation. So I explained to my kids now we have to be practical. We have our own house in San Pablo because back in Las Piñas, I'm just renting there at the Mini. So first and foremost, I just became practical. No, that's one of the reasons why we decided to go back to San Pablo, Laguna. So because we're gonna save more, and because nga the business, yung Chibo and Bella Resto business that's been renting in the first floor of our house, they used to rent the second floor, no, pag may mga functions and all. But due to the pandemic, since nag-lockdown noong March 2020, so they stopped renting the second floor. So for 1 year, no one has been staying in the second floor of our house. So that was the time na sabi ko, sayang yung space. We also lost income for the second floor of our house. And I've been renting in Las Piñas. So sabi ko, it's not practical. Sabi ko, I'm not reporting physically nasa work. Even the kids, no, they're just online schooling na. So I just waited for March to finish the contract that I had with my house in Las Piñas, and then May, April, I started with the renovation of the house na. Yung major that needed repair and renovation, repaint the house and all. And yun na, when I checked all the old stuff, yung mga antique items ni Mommy, iba yung feeling, Ate Mimi, kasi I know that during that time, medyo napabayaan ng mom ko yung mga antique items namin, mga heirloom pieces and all. Because, of course, you know naman that it requires a budget then, no? For you to preserve them. Yeah. So, when we went back here na nga, tapos nakita ko lahat ng mga items na hindi napagawa ng mom ko before. So, doon ako nag-focus Sabi ko, I'm gonna restore them all. Sabi ko, this is something na talagang very precious sa mga lolo at lola ko. Actually, the original owner of this house is the Retizos, no? My lolo Jose Retizos and my lola Oring. So my lola passed away when I was like grade 1 pa. So ever since noon, mom ko na yun talagang nag-take charge dito sa house. And ang galing ng mom ko, no? I just really admire how my mom took care of this house with all the, renovation and yung pag-remodel ng house namin. Kasi, believe it or not, Ate Mims, this house was built in 1926.
Wow, talagang
Yeah.
If you are in Australia, they will call that heritage listed. Hindi ka na pwede basta-basta mag-renovate ng mga ganyan. Preserve mo na lang talaga yan. Yeah.
Correct. Kaya talagang when I saw the title of the house, talaga na, oh my God, November 1926 talaga siya built, no? So sabi ko, I'll do everything that I can, no, to preserve and restore the family history because it's the family heritage that I'm preserving right now, no? Yeah. So, yung konting budget ko talagang binuhos ko na sa house kasi it's long term naman.
Yeah. And you're not looking at it for show, but it's really a way to sabi mo nga, to honor your family history, and you are going to live there. So why not go all out, di ba? So, but
Exactly.
Hanna, your first floor is still being rented at the moment, or is that part of your house now? It's being rented.
Yeah, it's still being rented. Yeah.
Okay. So at
By the Chibo and Bella.
they have a business, and at the same time you have some rental coming in. So that's the other aspect of your life. So you are still in the stage now where you are caring for your mom in a way. Kumbaga, parang ikaw ang administrator for affairs. I also, just a few years before my mother died, parang nagkaroon na rin kami ng role reversal. She didn't have early onset of dementia or Alzheimer's, but as old people have this certain things about their thinking, baka kalimutin na rin sila, bugnutin na rin sila. Parang nagkaroon na rin role reversal, parang you are becoming a parent to them in a way. And you also have your kids in a way. How did you feel about that part of your life na nare-realize mo, nagiging iba na rin ang relationship ko sa mother ko just because of her old age? Nahirapan ka ba sa transition na yon, or did it come to you as naturally as it could? Because for some women, baka hindi nila nare-realize na meron na rin palang ganung nangyayaring role reversal. Away sila ng away ng mami nila, pero hindi nila naiintindihan na nag-iiba na ang disposisyon ng kanilang mga parents. So, okay, could you tell us your insights regarding that? And what are your tips for other people like us who are looking after the elderly parents?
Yeah, I could say, Ate Mimi, that it wasn't easy. It's not easy taking care of a parent who has Alzheimer's. It's very challenging. And here naman in Pinas, it's not really accepted pa, yung fact na parang westernized kasi pa yung thought na you would have to bring your parents to a nursing home, a private nursing home, for them to have a specialized care talaga to receive that. So at first, medyo it was not an easy decision for me and my brother, because I just have one sibling, so it's not just me who decided to put my mom there. But yun nga, it wasn't really easy because it's not I do not always have a house help. So most of the time it's just me and the kids. And during that time I was still reporting to the office. And when my mom's Alzheimer's is getting, mas advanced stage na, there were instances na ilang beses siyang nawala, ilang beses siyang, talagang hindi madali, for us. So, doon dumating na yung ganung point, and then we don't have helper pa sa house, and medyo nagkakaroon na rin kami ng challenges sa health ko rin, personally siguro because of, too much stress, no? Oh yeah, too much stress na talaga. So that's the time that me and my brother decided to bring my mom to a private nursing home. Though yun nga, just like what I told you, some of the Filipinos here, hindi pa nila ganon ka-accepted yung ganong kasi masyadong westernized.
Yeah, like here it's the norm. But it's the norm here. Once you reach a certain age and your children have their own lives, so to speak, you don't have a choice but to go to types of places. If you're still independent, you can go to a retirement village. It's something like you have an individual house, you live on your own, but there are very near supports for you, like a village nurse, a village doctor, a physio, mga ganon. The other one nga is like in your case, is a nursing home. So they are in one facility, they have their own private rooms, but they have 24/7 care. And all the other things that go with it, may mga support workers sila. Kasi nga, iba naman ang needs ng mga nasa nursing home. It's not really retirement living or independent living arrangement. So I really, really understand. Ang nagkataon lang, in our case, ako naman, I really wanted to take care of my mom. So it was my choice na pinilit ko talaga na tumira si mami dito. So there was a time over a span of 10 years na New Zealand, Philippines sila ni tatay. Then when my dad died, nag-Australia naman kami. Philippines, Australia siya. So nakakapagod rin mag-travel. So I said to her, Mom, stay here. Hanggang sa dito na siya, unti-unti na rin nag-deteriorate. So iba naman ang decision nun. Although my brother, kasi ako rin, I only have one sibling, a younger brother. Although he might have felt na sinolo ko na yung parents ko, di ba? Kasi he lives in Canada with his family and most of the time, my parents were with me. Selfish, maybe. It's on my part, I felt a little bit selfish. But yun naman ang parang ko sa mami ko. I felt that was in her best interest to stay with me, including my dad.
Correct.
In your case, it was in her best interest to be where she is right now, which is in a nursing home. So, magkaiba tayo ng circumstance. Like, this is what we're trying to demonstrate in this episode. So, there's no one recommended way of looking after family. It just depends on what's happening in yung mga family dynamic ninyo. You have 2 kids, you have a career, ang layo pa ng work mo. So, I really, really understand that. So, at the moment, have you and your brother made any more agreements about how to look after your mom? Nabibisita nyo pa yung mami nyo? I know it's COVID, but I just want to, get your experience para just to share it with others. How is it like looking after a mom who's not physically with you at home in COVID situations? How do you arrange your visits to your mom?
Actually, when we had the lockdown, back in March 2020, so it was like 3 months pa yun that we were not able to visit mom. And right after that, when the pandemic started, whenever we get the chance and we are allowed to visit, kasi right now we're not yet allowed, because of the lockdown pa rin. So 3 months or 4 months after the lockdown last year, 2020, it's just a window visit.
Window visit.
So, window visit.
Parang drive-through visit.
Honestly, Ate Mims, talagang sobra yung iniyak ko. I really cried so hard kasi I couldn't even, much as I would really want to hug and embrace and kiss my mom, I can't. I have to think of her safety. Kasi baka mamaya kami pala sa amin makakuha ng sakit si mom. Pero I'm just praying talaga na, Lord, I know this is for her best interest. This is for her, I want to prolong the life of my mom. Okay, if this is the best way to do it, then I have to sacrifice. If these are the sacrifices that we have to make just to prolong her life, then I would have to endure that kind of pain. Because until now, Ate Mims, right now we're not yet allowed to visit, so we will just be informed na lang daw through an email or text if Marikina City will, kasi right now lockdown pa rin in Marikina. So, and it's still window visits. So, there's just this microphone that my mom could speak to us, and then we can hear them. May monitor sa labas, and ganun lang. So the only way that we could communicate is, by singing to her. If you could see some of our videos, whenever we visit her, we would sing to her some of her compositions. As you know, my mom is a composer, right?
And thank you for sharing that, Hanna. I really, really think it's important to share those moments, even to your friends on social media, because it's a dynamic, it's an experience that not everyone has. And if you have those beautiful moments, bakit hindi? Bakit hindi?
Yeah.
I think it's important for us to see how you look after your mother, which is really parang talagang ang puso ko ay one with you whenever I see that. And how do you use technology? Do you every day talk to her using your video, or bihirang-bihira rin ba yung mga singing moments na yun na binivideo mo? How is it like, at least yung frequency of your communication?
Well, thankful na lang talaga kami for this technology right now that we have, because we get to have video call weekly. We have video call weekly kasi hindi rin pwedeng daily kasi naman I have work then, and the nurses or the caregivers taking care of them are also busy. So once a week yan, nag-video call kami with my mom, and of course hindi pwedeng mawala yung singing whenever we communicate.
Yeah. So segue muna tayo. We've talked about your work, we've talked about your home, we've talked about your kids, we've talked about your mom. Nakakalimutan natin na ikaw ay isang singer. So you've mentioned singing already. We've been together with UPLBCE. at that time, pumapayag pa ang aking pagiging soprano. At ikaw naman ay pumapayag sa pagiging alto. But I think it's important that you look after your passion. And your passion is singing. And there was a time that you even tried to go on TV and made it almost to the peak of that competition, Hanna. So, how often do you still find your time to sing? And how do you realize those moments where, okay, ako naman muna. Let me do my singing for today. Tell us about your music, your love for music.
Well, my love for music, nandun pa rin yun. It will stay there because it has always been my passion, no? So whenever I feel really, really stressed, no, sa work, sa personal life ko and all, I sing, no? That's my stress reliever talaga. That's my outlet, Ate Mimi. Kasi naman talagang being a single mom and a single working mom, no, and taking care of all the needs of my mom pa rin, it's really not an easy task, no? Hindi madali yung responsibility. But if I feel really stressed, grabe na yung tension and all, I sing. So if you see me recording more songs, so stressed ako nung time na yon.
Ako naman, going back to my singing roots naman is also out of my personal parang desire to reconnect with it. Kasi sometimes there are different points in your life na hindi mo muna ipaprioritize yun eh. Kasi marami kang iba iniisip. Pero dadating yung point na sasabihin mo, no, I have to do it because that's part of who I am. And I think I can relate with that sa stress reliever.
Correct.
And it doesn't have to
We breathe music eh.
Oo, hindi naman siya pambagong kampiyon type of performance. It doesn't have to be that way. As long as it's your way of releasing, expressing yourself, I do believe that. So what happened to your competition, Hanna? Why did it stop for now? Is it because there's nothing available at the moment, or it's something na hindi mo lang iniisip na i-pursue right now?
Siguro it's not really in my priorities right now as of the moment. Especially, I heard that you need to physically go there na eh. Because before they used to have this online pa. But right now, it's siguro wala pa sa priorities for now. But yung singing, hindi yan mawawala sa atin. Definitely.
And what about, sabi mo nga, your mom is one of those very famous composers, and I'm sure kumakanta-kanta din siya, tas ang galing-galing pa niya mag-piano. Pero bakit hindi ka napunta sa linya na yon? Composing and recording, producing. Bakit hindi mo naisip na this could be an alternative career for me? Because it runs in the family.
Yeah, actually my mom is a graduate of Conservatory of Music, no? And during the time na I was still choosing ano yung course na pupuntahan ko, ayaw niya ako mag-conservatory. Sabi niya, you have to try a different field naman, no? Kasi parang nasa music na ako eh. So try different field na sayang naman din yung kung meron ka nito, then try a different field. Parang ganyan. So I tried to pursue other naman.
Baliktad tayo. My mom wanted me to pursue music.
Music? Really?
Ako
Talaga?
Torn between communication and music ako eh. Pero inisip ko, I'd rather pursue something different din naman. Kasi music can always be a part of me in different ways, vicarious ways. So, hindi ko naman totally kinilutan. I just didn't study formally in a university. Pero yung mga basic skills na tututunan din yan in other ways. So, yung music, is there anything else that you are into aside from restoring your family heirlooms and music? Is there anything else in your hobby list or in the things that you still wanted to do that you haven't managed to do or currently doing na?
Honestly, I couldn't imagine myself being a plantita. Ate Mimi, it was only now na siguro when we went back to our ancestral home that I had this love na for the plants, no? Which is, hindi ako to before. Kasi sabi ko nga siguro it's with the aging na talaga siguro. Yeah. So parang yun na yun talagang stress reliever. So yun. Pero, yan. Oh, other than that, I'm actually looking forward kasi na-postpone lang. My mom is actually a church service awardee, no, dito sa San Pablo Cathedral. So, unfortunately, she won't be able to receive the award, no. But I'm really looking forward to represent her because parang almost 25 years kasi yung mom ko na
Wow.
nag-serve sa church. So she has been composing psalms, no, responsorial psalms. And talagang yung dito kasi ang salmo ay kinakanta yung buo, no,
Yes.
even yung
And
mga
that's
verses.
the traditional.
So she
That's
used
the
to compose
traditional.
that.
Yeah,
Yes,
yes.
correct.
How beautiful. How
Correct.
beautiful. Maybe the next project that you could have is to record all her psalms and put it into an album as part of the
Yeah,
celebration
why
of
not?
her years in service. You never know.
Pwede.
Ang dami naman mga local recording studios dyan sa San Pablo na pwede mong i-collab. So that they can, parang ano na rin yan, part of preserving your mom's history na rin or her contribution sa church. I'm sure may mga record and churches dyan
Correct.
kung ano yung mga versions na nagamit na nila at saka yung mga kailan nila nagamit through the years. So you said something about love and plantita. What about your personal love story, Hanna? Magdudugtugan pa ba ang iyong love life? If you have any plans of still having that person in your life who will be your katuwang and who will be your partner to help you through the remainder of your future years, hindi yesteryears, future years.
I don't know, Ate Mims, no? Ang mahirap magsalita ng tapos, sabi nga nila. I'm not closing my door, but right now, I'm just enjoying my time alone with my kids, no? I enjoyed being a single mom for a long time now. Pero if ever God will give me someone, no, to be my partner for life, why not?
You're not totally opposed and close to the idea, but you're not actively looking. Ibig sabihin, when it comes, it will come at the right time.
Exactly.
And the right person. I'm pretty sure, yun nga, like what we said, the theme of our conversation today is you've been able to transcend all those challenges and rise above all those challenges. And yun yung mga different na mga barriers, pinupukpok mo talaga eh. You those walls, you really try your best na bakbakin sila, and then that's another step in your success in life. And who knows, that might be the next step pag naisaayos mo na yung mga anak mo. You never know. You've got a very wonderful panganay boy who's so responsible, who looks after you as well as the mom, and your younger child, your daughter, sees how good ay kuya is, and it's a good kind of role model in a way in the home front, kasi makikita niya na it doesn't have to have a super male figure every day, as long as intact kayo and you're there really to support your kids. So I really admire you for that, Hanna. So I would like to go on and ask you questions about your life, but I think today you've inspired us to believe that not being a single working mom is a bad thing. It's a celebration of your achievements din. You've done a lot, Hanna. Kinwento mo sa amin. It's not easy, like you said. It's challenging, but here you are. You've remained strong, you've remained resilient. So kung meron mga other women na nakikinig sa atin na baka akala nila magugunaw na ang mundo nila, what's your greatest advice to them? O pagka meron kong mga currently undergoing some more difficult and challenging moments in their lives, give them your nuggets of wisdom.
Well, I guess whenever you're put into a certain challenging situation, you know, lagi kong sinasabi sa sarili ko na hindi ko pwedeng hindi gawin to ng maayos. Kailangan kong galingan. Alam mo yan, magpapagod ka na rin lang, gagawin mo na lang din yung isang bagay, galingan mo na, give it your best shot. And of course, don't just rely on your own. There's somebody up there, okay, very powerful up there, who will give you extra power to handle everything. That has always been what I'm doing. That's what I've been always doing, na talagang there's somebody, merong may supreme power talaga to assist me, to help me overcome everything. Parang ganon.
Yeah. And human as we are, we're weak. Hindi na natin
Yeah.
kakayanin. So kailangan
We
natin
cannot just rely on our own strength.
yes,
Totoo.
exactly. So I agree 100%, and it's a good reminder for all of us not to rely on our own humanness, but also to
Exactly.
hindi lang yung umaasa ka rin naman sa iba. Yeah, I know that when you need help, you will ask for it. But more so, sabi mo nga, yung pinanghuhugutan mo is somebody more powerful up there na siya ang source ng lahat ng ating strength. And that's a good mindset then that you can give to yourself and offer to others. So Hanna, thank you very much for coming. I hope you enjoyed our kwentuhan.
Of course. I really enjoyed it, and thank you so much for guesting me here in your show.
Yeah, I really
It's
enjoyed
really an
it.
honor.
It's like a good mini reunion. Anyway, Hanna, I'm going to close the show now. So again, Hanna, thank you very much for offering your insights about all your experiences in life and being generous about them, because obviously our goal here in our program is to impart these nuggets of wisdom nga para naman may matutunan yung mga nakikinig sa atin. And who knows, somebody who's probably listening to us might realize na, oh nga no, if Hanna can do it, why can't I? So I should be as strong as Hanna. So again, thank you, Hanna. And for our listeners and viewers, if you have any extra topics or stories that you wish for us to discuss here at Samu't Sari, please reach out to me via my Gmail address, which is down in the show notes. Samu't Sari is a member of the Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate. If you want to reach out to them, they have a website. They also have a Facebook page. And you can reach out to me naman via my Twitter account, my Facebook page, or my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to all the Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate shows, and obviously to Samu't Sari. And baka naman mamaya meron mga kanta-kanta si Hanna dyan na gusto nyo i-share sa atin. Then obviously we will provide that information to you. Again, Hanna, let's say goodbye to our viewers and listeners. Thank you for being here today, and I hope you'll be guesting back. And for everyone,
Of course.
see you in another episode of Samu't Sari. Bye!
Bye, guys. See ya.
If you find value in this episode, make sure you like and subscribe to be notified of new releases. If you have any questions or suggestions, please reach out to Guerrilla Podcast or send us an email at mimi@dinosocial.com. Spread the word and don't forget to tune in next time.